The recent Elden Ring update saw a pretty substantial nerf to the Mimics tier, which for a while was the best summon in Elden Ring, hands down. But with that update and the nerf, we now have two reigning champions for the best summons in Elden Ring, and today we're going to go over exactly what those two are, how to get them, and a pretty cheesy way to get what is, in my opinion, the best summon hands down in the game, the Black Knife Tiche, incredibly easy, because that fight is actually pretty difficult, and I found a pretty awesome way to be able to cheese the boss to be able to easily get this amazing summon. Now we're going to be going over two different summons today. The one on screen is the Black Knight Tiche, and then we're also going to be showing how to get the Cleanrot Knight Finlay, both of which I believe to be the two best summons currently in Elden Ring. Now, the thing I like the most about the Black Knife Tiche is the incredible speed at which it can move around the map. It is incredibly elusive, and it can deal a ton of damage. So not only is it going to survive pretty much the entire fight, but it's also going to do a ton of damage while evading all of the attacks, and quite frankly is capable of soloing many bosses in the game, like Loretta here. I was dumbfounded that I was able to kill Loretta the first try with the Black Knife Tiche, and honestly just kind of let it just wreck her face, which was a lot of fun to see happening, because especially when it does the attack that causes these like blood flames or whatever that is on there, it does a ton of damage. Now, Finlay, on the other hand, is pretty versatile in the fact that she can attack at range with these holy discs, can do physical damage with her sword when up close, and then can also buff you with a physical damage reduction boost that lasts for 30 seconds, and she will reapply this throughout the fight. Now, she can also do a spew of rot that will cause rot damage over time on your enemies, which can burn them down even after she's dead while you just run around and wait for the boss to die. She is pretty amazing, and both of these summons are going to be great to have in your arsenal. Now, the only real downside to these two summons is they do cost the most of all summons in the game. The Black Knife Tiche costs 132 FP, whereas the Cleanrot Knight Finlay costs 127. But fear not, you can actually cast these for free if you are playing a build that does not have a lot of mind. This is done by using the Cerulean Hidden Tier, which eliminates all FP consumption when you consume your Flask of Wondrous Physic. Now, even though my character does have 160 FP and I can cast both of these summons, say I only had 10 FP on my character somehow, you could still summon all of your summons by using the Flask of Wondrous Physic with the Cerulean Tier. And to be able to get this tier, we're going to need to defeat the boss at the Minor Erdtree. You can get to this on the northwest side of the map near the Volcano Manor, and the closest spot here is the Road of Iniquity. From this road, we're just going to want to hop on our Spectral Steed, and you can follow this road down the edge here, through all of this, past the weird, like, tentacle dude? I don't know what this deal is, but it's a thing. And then down at this dead Erdtree is going to be a boss that you need to defeat for the Cerulean Tier. It comes in super handy for various other builds as well, like the Infinite FP build, but just kill the tree here and you'll be able to get the Cerulean Tier. Now, it is a lot of fun to be able to use the Black Knife Tiche to be able to just solo bosses. It is so freaking agile and does so much damage. It's really hard for the bosses to be able to kill it, and you can almost solo them. Like, look how much damage it does when it finally gets that, like, blood flame effect on there. And it's just a magnificent summon to have. So let's go ahead and get into exactly how to get this summon and how you can cheese the boss to be able to easily get it. Now, to be able to get to the location for the summon, you do need to have defeated Estelle, which means you need to have gotten this far in Rinna's storyline. And if you have been having trouble with this boss, I highly recommend Radahn's greatswords because they do a ton of damage to this thing and honestly made it super easy. It only took me 2 tries to be able to kill this thing, and I know a lot of people have had trouble with it, but the Radahn's greatswords are actually really amazing for this fight, as well as the Death's Poker worked really great as well. But once you defeat Estelle, we'll be able to get to the location that we need to be able to get the Black Knife Tiche. Now, I just realized I accidentally called Ranni Renna, and I'm sure the keyboard warriors have already hit the comments before hearing this, but if you haven't started Ranni's questline already, you can do that here on the map in Lorinia. You gotta go through the main Ikaria Manor and defeat the boss here at the Royal Moongazing Grounds, where you'll be able to get out of here and start the quest here at Ranni's Rise. It's a bit of a long quest line, but it'll give you access to all of these underground areas, and then you'll eventually be able to defeat the boss here at the Estelle Natural Born Void, which will then get you up into this location at the Moonlight Altar. Once you get to this area, you're going to want to head west, and we're going to go down this road all the way to the Ringleader's Everjail. There's going to be a couple of dragons through here that you can run right past. Now, before we go into the Everjail, just get familiarized with this particular area. When you're in, you're going to be able to spawn the boss right here. But what we want to focus on is this little corner right here. You can actually see where all the blood is. This little corner right here. So the goal when we get inside of here, and I'll be showing you exactly how this works in a second, we're going to run up here. We're going to spawn the boss, and then we're going to kite it over to this direction, and we're going to get basically stuck right here where it can't even fight. Now, once we get it spawned, just do exactly what we talked about, where we're going to bring him over to this corner. Once you get here, you can kind of hop up and see how he gets stuck in the corner. You're going to take a little bit of damage, but the goal is to just slap him right into this corner. Don't rush it. Patience is key. When you see him fall to the ground, just let him stay there. Once he stands back up, start slapping him again, and just take this nice and slow. You don't want to accidentally push yourself to one side or the other, allowing him to get out of there, because he can easily one-shot you. But the key is to make sure to not do damage to him when he's on the ground like that on his knees. You don't want to critical hit him, because sometimes it'll reset him and it'll allow to do damage to you again. So really just take your time here. Using a greatsword seems to work really well for this, and then just keep stun locking him into the corner. And if you take your time, nice and easy, literally you can do this with getting hit maybe once or twice, and that's really about it. It's just a patience thing. I am using the Death's Poker for this. We're getting a little bit of extra damage with those like frost procs, but otherwise all you got to do is just slap him to death, and then you get to unlock what I think is the best summon in the game, the Black Knife Tiche. Now, to be able to get the Cleanrot Knight Finlay, you will need access to the Haligtree Canopy, which means you're going to need to get the secret medallion for the Grand Lift of Rold, which is going to bring you up into the hidden path of the Haligtree, where you'll have to go over to the Ordina Little town to be able to unlock the puzzle that'll get the gateway at this like set of stairs here that'll take you all the way over to the Haligtree Canopy. From here, you'll have to make your way across the canopy, and you'll have to get to the prayer room here. Once you're at the prayer room, we can get to the summon itself. And one of the reasons that I showed how to get the Black Knife Tiche first is because it'll come in really handy for defeating Loretta here just before getting to the prayer room. Now, once you are at the prayer room, we're going to head right out through here, and we're just going to run past everything along the way. You don't have to really fight anything until the very end of this, and even then you don't really have to either. We're going to go running down these stairs, and right where this dead body is there's going to be this little ramp that we can jump down onto. We're going to do that. Then we're going to jump across onto this here. There's going to be a guy standing outside, which we're going to take out with the Sword of Night and Flames ranged attack. And then inside of this room is going to be a guard in front of the chest. We're going to take this guy out with a ranged attack as well, because I still absolutely love the Sword of Night and Flame. And then once we kill this guy, then right behind it is going to be the chest that we need to loot to be able to get the Cleanrot Knight Finlay. Now, I really do hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments below which summon is your favorite, and I'll see you all in the next one.